All right, welcome back to Bond STX. We are week 2, plays of the week. I'm joined again by a special guest, Daz. He's going to comment on a lot of these stocks as well as I will. Disclaimer before we get started, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So got plays of the week 2, a couple stocks that came up on my scan as I do every week. So I'm scanning stocks, quite a few of them in the neighborhood of 80 to 100 stocks. And so coming up this week as a good play, we'll start off with AT&T. It's at true value of $25.47. So it's 82 cents above value, in my opinion. But it is trending at a 6, so which is a pretty good trend. And so let's look at the charts and see what that shows. So pull up AT&T. Ticker symbol T. And so as I always do, I like to look out a year out. Always zoom out. I don't want to start too close into any chart. Always want to look at the big picture first and see where everything's moving. So as you can see, as I show always my cake range. So this is the kind of the stronghold of a stock. It's where the price wants to be over the course of a year. So you can kind of see how it's been trending, and you can see also the SMA here, and it's coming real close back to the SMA. And so I like to zoom in a little bit here. And you can see what I call the Williams alligator opening up and the price action being above the EMA. So if you look at the true value here, you can see it's above true value, as I mentioned on the scanner chart or on the scanner spreadsheet. So looking at the last manipulation here, it got covered by the green, but looking at some potential, if you want to look at buying it undervalued, I would say even at true value of $25.48, it's probably a good price. I would rather feel more comfortable buying it around the range of, it comes back down to here. I'm looking at about $24.95. So I would say 25 even, just to be kind of at a good price range. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it down at 25 even. So let's go ahead and mark it down for me, 25 on the dot. So Daz, what are you looking at on AT&T, and where do you feel comfortable buying AT&T this week?
Yeah, on AT&T, I would feel comfortable at 25.31. That would be my buying range. I think it has some room to fall, but I think if you can get in around that 25.31, you can probably, I think you can profit off close to 26.7.
Okay, 25.31. Sounds good to me. I mean, if you look at it, it's still got some room. You can see it's been it's bounced off the what I call the cake value 4 in the past. Looks like it's getting a little bit of rejection there. So yeah, I'd say 25.31 is good too. Anything else on this one, Darius?
No, not.
All right. All right, moving on to the next one for this week. I'm gonna pull up, and looks like Discovery Channel. So Discovery Channel stock has gotten some good news. It's about $2.60 above value, but the only reason I pulled this one out was because it is moving at a strong trend of a 6. which is a good thing to look at. Let's go to the charts and see what we see and kind of explain what the opportunity is for Discovery. Again, not a long-term hold, in my opinion. I would say this one would be a day trade for sure. You can see how the stock has been below the SMA since 5/17. So back in May, see a lot of volume come in and devalue the stock. Looking at 89 million shares coming in, pushing the price down. It's been below the SMA. And so what's important here, you kind of see it's wants to jump above the SMA again. And you can see the last time that it went above the SMA, this is called going to the moon here. And so I don't think it's going to do that, but I do think there's potential for a day trade. Looking at the MACD, you can see the buyers coming back in, the momentum starting to get a little bit stronger. But what scares me about this one is the manipulation from Friday. Again, the good news coming in. You don't necessarily have to know what news came in. You can see with the price action chart, it will show you that there's good news coming in. You can see the volume coming in at 42 million shares when the volume's been pretty low. So it's obviously something that sparked the attention of the investors. And so for me, again, you can see the alligator mouth opening up, the chart starting to open up. But I would be very hesitant to buy this stock until it came down. I would like to see the stock price come down to around 25.71 before I would actually feel comfortable buying into it. It may not hit that until later in the week, but it may continue up with the uptrend the first couple of days. So I would say 25.71 is where I'd be willing to buy into Discovery this week. That's what's your thoughts on Discovery?
Yeah, like we talked earlier, Discovery is one I would stay away from. It did go up, 16, almost 17% off that merger news. So just real quick, Discovery Channel, those news announced pretty much that they are going to merge with Warner Media. So a lot of people, I guess they thought that was going to be a big deal. But I agree with you. I would not feel comfortable buying it here. I think 25.40s is a good place for it to be. Like for a day trade, I feel comfortable for me personally.
25.40s it is, Daz. 25.40. I would say it's good you brought that news up as far as what the merger was and what happened. That's good to share with everyone. I was not in tune with what happened, but you don't necessarily have to know the news to see the news on the charts. And so that's good you brought that to light. Appreciate that. All right, moving on to the next one here. Next one that came out of the scans this week was Intel. Intel was on the list last week. It continues to move in a strong direction upward. It's about 12 cents overvalued in my opinion, based on what I pulled out of the charts. So let's go to Intel and see what opportunities it presents for as long-term play. And so Intel's getting a lot of volume, starting to pick up. Again, as we mentioned last week, another indicator that something I like to look at is the SMA. It's been beaten up underneath the SMA quite a bit. Came up and almost touched the SMA back in December, the 7th of December. So now it's above the SMA. So it's starting to catch some momentum. Be interesting to see how much momentum this continues to take. Again, it being below the cake, it could come back above that. Let me zoom back out real quick. You can see how it's been beaten up underneath that cake range quite a bit. Got rejected again by that. And we'd like to see, looks like the price wants to be up in this range. So it really needs to take a strong move this week to get above in that range and to stay above the SMA. So looking at the 30-day 1 hour chart here, you can see last week this was our true value here. Came above that true value, stayed above that. Now it's moved our true value to this range here. So you can look at the momentum starting to come down a little bit, but I believe you could be pretty good getting into Intel this week. I would say I'd be willing to purchase Intel. I'd hate for it to come back down to the 5164 range. I think it may, because this hasn't been covered. This manipulation has not been covered. I would say I'd be willing to buy it more in the 52. I'd say 52.54 is where I'd feel comfortable buying Intel this week. 52.54. Daz, what do you think about Intel this week?
For this week, I think personally, for a day trade or a weekly swing trade, I think you can get in that. Honestly, I feel like you can get in that. What is this right here? I think 52.95 is okay.
52.95. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, mark it down. Let's see how it does. And one of the things that's real, the real challenge in predicting or finding out where the stock price wants to be is it's always moving, right? And you're trying to predict the future in some sense. So what you're trying to see in the charts is where has the price been and where's the price wanting to be. And so that's one of the things that I'm using my scanner to do, to kind of give me some kind of insight. So that's the goal here.
Oh, and real quick on that one, forgot to add, I will say though, I would like to watch that at the level of $53.14. How it reacts to that.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, good point. Good point. So put an alert there at 53.14. See how I test that and see where it goes from there. Okay. Anything else on that one, Daz?
No, that's all on that one.
All right. Next on the list was Disney. Again, another one that's above true value, has potential to come below true value. It's $2.62 above true value, in my opinion, but it is moving at a strong trend of a 4. So let's pull up Disney in the charts, see what potential we've got there. Now, I would never buy Disney at the current price that it's at, but I would definitely put an alert, wait for it to fall down to my price range. I did a little prediction or projection on Disney in the chart here, so I'll go ahead and explain what I'm seeing. And so looking at a year out, you can see how much it wants to be, what I call, again, the cake range. Pretty consistent there. Took a hard rejection after the, looks like an earnings call that came out in the last quarter. So you see a lot of volume here, devaluing the stock. And it came to a recent low of 142 in the 1st of December. And so you can see a strong reverberation of the stock, the momentum starting to pick back up. And so as I look at this price and I kind of scan out, zoom out just a little bit, you can see the SMA coming back down. Looks like that cross may happen out into February, end of February, early March. So I would say that's why I put this one on as one I would invest in, is because you can see the alligator's mouth opening up and you kind of project these lines out. You kind of see where those lines will cross the SMA, which is where the momentum will pick back up and you will see it get excuse me, back into the cake range. And so I would say this is a good investment, in my opinion, good range. I definitely say it's overvalued at this point. So I would definitely wait for it to fall and see if it falls back to the 155.33 range, 155.21. I would say if it falls back to that range, 155.21, I would like to see, I'd feel more comfortable buying it around the 153.78, 153.72 range. So I'd say 153.78 would be a comfortable spot to buy Disney this week. I wouldn't just jump out there and start buying it. I would definitely want to see how it moves Monday going into Tuesday. You can see the volume starting to come down a little bit. So let's see how it tests that. And I'll say 152, 150, 153.78. Daz, where are you buying or where are you feeling comfortable with Disney?
I'm with you on this one. I think Disney's one I would stay away from. But if it can go down, I would say 156.27, like see how it reacts to that. But I think it has potential to possibly even go to 154, 154.73.
154.73. Is that where you buying it?
Yeah, this one's tricky. I would probably buy this one for a day trade at 156.27.
156.27. Okay. 156.27 it is. I would invest in it, but I definitely would wait for it to come down to a better price for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Lock that one in. All right, next on the list is Boeing. So Boeing is coming in $7.56 above price, above value. For me, in my opinion, it is trending pretty strong at a 4. It's below the cake. So I would say this is one I would be looking to invest in, definitely if it comes down to my price range. So let's see what the charts show us. All right. Another stock that has pretty much stayed in this, what I call cake range again, pretty heavily throughout the last year. So it's down below it, and you've seen how it comes below the cake, comes back into it, below, back in. It's been beaten up a little bit here lately, but it is starting to trend back up. And so looking at Boeing, I'm looking at the alligators map opening up, seeing the MACD starting to open up a lot more. So I would say definitely I would look at buying this one if it does come down below true value, which I don't feel like it will this week. Might be some opportunities next week. But if it does come down, I would say if it does come down to 207.87, I would definitely be looking to buy into Boeing. I would say I feel comfortable buying in at 206.29. Definitely a potential for it to come down to 204, but I'd feel real comfortable with it coming back. So I would say 206.29 would be where I would feel comfortable buying Boeing this week. Guys, what do you think about Boeing as far as your comfort level this week buying it?
So this week to potentially make a profit, I'm going to be I'm going to say to potentially make some type of profit. I would say maybe 209.79. And my target to get out would be close to about 211 if I had to swing trade this, but I agree with you. I would wait for this one to go down a little bit more and probably use this right here more as an investment.
Yeah, I think Boeing, I mean, it's, had the issue with the planes, well, was it last year or year before last? And so, they have taken a beating a little bit over the last few years. But I think as people get more comfortable with their planes and with the air travel, I do feel like Boeing could be something that you could hold on to, without feeling like it can't come back. I mean, it's been at 185, which is a pretty low price. It had a low back here early part of the year last year, 192. So, if it can hold above that, I don't see any problem with it coming back in this range over the course of the year. So, yeah, I agree. I think this one could be a good one to hold as a long-term play. Next on the list is kind of a wild card one for my penny stock viewers out there. I'm not a fan of penny stocks, but this one did pull up on the scan as a good one. This is a favorite of Daz's, so I think he'll be able to read this one a lot better, maybe than I can, because I'm not a penny stock guy. But it did pull up as a good scan, 2 cents below value, which is good at 103. It is starting to pick up a trend, which is why I pulled up on my scan. And so let's look at ABML, American Battery, and see what potential that has for this week. And so not much of a good example of a good cake range here, because the high of $4.09 was early part of last year. And so this range will change. It's probably more so once we get into the middle part of the year, this range will open up. So it'll be probably closer to down here, this cake range. But anyway, it's been beaten up a lot. I would say going back to July, it's been beaten up. So one thing that I always like to look at is the EMA, this teal EMA and the green EMA cross. When you see that happens, there's an opportunity, and you see it happen here, to get in and make some money. So that cross, it crossed, but it didn't cross in a way, kind of like a fake out. And you kind of see it starting to come back around, and you also see the MACD starting to open up underneath to the higher side. I would say definitely this week, I would be willing to buy this stock, even at the, it's below value by 2 cents, even at the price where it's at $1.01 instead of $1.03. I would say $1.01 would be definitely a good price. Wouldn't be surprised if it came back to 98, 99 cents. So definitely good opportunity here. I would really like to see this cross over again this week. If that crosses again this week, I would definitely be watching out for it to hit probably $1.07, maybe even $1.16 in next week. So I would definitely get in at, I would say $1.01. That's my purchase price. I would buy that one if I was to buy it. I'm not going to buy it because I'm not a penny stock guy, but if I was to buy it, $1.01 would be a very comfortable price for me. All right, Daz, this is your time to shine. This is your stock. What you got on this one?
Yeah. So yeah, this stock has been beaten up really bad. It's a new company. Well, I'm not gonna say it's a new company, but it's been up for a while. So they focus on pretty much battery lithium recycling. Just to give an overview. So actually, there maybe should be one day I do a video on this one alone, just to give some more information for anybody that's interested. But as far as target point, like I told you earlier, honestly, I'm okay with getting in at 103 because I feel like you have a chance to profit at 110. But I will say it is a possibility that it can go down to 98 cents again. So this is one I would say just a dollar even.
All right. Okay. And that's one thing about this one. And again, you know more about it than I do, but I'm looking at this MACD, it's being underneath here, and this that happened happened back in November. If that cross happens again, you get that same type of momentum. The buyers come back in. You're looking at a nice little day trade. So
yeah, definitely. I think I'll get with you on making a video on this company in particular.
okay, good deal. Good deal.
Nationwide.
Awesome. All right. Let's see what else we got on the list. Got Nikola again on the list. So Nikola had a good week last week. It's about 2 cents overvalued, but still trending pretty strong at a 2. So let's break up Nikola here. All right. So Nikola stock, again, it has been beaten up over the course of the year. It is making some headway, went above true value last week, got a potential to go again above true value. I would say Nikola stock kind of opening up. I would definitely want to see what it does and see if it comes back down to the 1023 range. But I would definitely buy Nikola if it does come down that range. So I would say 1023 would be a comfortable range. I would buy that at. Daz, what do you? I know you don't want to buy.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I wouldn't buy it.
I know you wouldn't. But if a gun was to your head and they gave you some cash and said you got to spend on Nikola, where would you buy it?
Yeah, this one's tough. If I had to. Maybe I think I can do 1017.
1017.
Yeah, 1017.
All right.
Yeah, that's just one I was just, not mess with.
All right, well, we'll pretend that you bought it at 1027. If it goes up to $12, we'll pretend that you made some money off of it too.
Yeah. Oh, $10, 17. 17.
17. All right, my bad. All right. Got it saved. All right. Next on the list, we've got Cisco. So Cisco came in undervalued about 36 cents and definitely popped up on my radar as something to look into. It's got a trend of a 2, which is a pretty good trend, but it is above the cake. So something we want to look at. Not necessarily say this is a definite go at the price that it's at. We definitely want to go to the charts, and I want to see how it's moving. And the first thing that stands out to me when you're looking at a 1 year, 1 day, you can see a big turn of events in the momentum here. It's like the price action is starting to want to come back down. The momentum starting to change. So something to look at. Let's say, don't know for sure if this is going to come back up, swing back up. This projection EMA has not crossed the red projected EMA, so it's not a full downturn yet. So if this can come back above and this red, blue, and green can stay out of each other's way, which is a good sign. Definitely think it could continue. I would say if it does, these do cross, it's probably likely that it will come down to 57.96. I don't know where the cross will happen. I think it will cross eventually. I don't know if it'll happen this week. And so I would say, going out on a limb on this one, I'd be comfortable buying at 60.83. Let's say not buy at 60.83. Let's say I put an alert at 60.83. If it comes down below that, then I'm watching for it to come down to 57.86 where I'm scooping it up. But I would say let's put an alert. I put an alert at 60.83 and see where it goes from there. I'm not buying it at 60.83. I'm just going to put an alert and see where it goes from there. Again, you always want to watch the charts. That's what I'm doing before I'm buying. I don't want to get caught buying something that's continuing to trend down and has no support. So 60.83 is where I'm watching that one. Put an alert. What you got on that one, Des?
So this one right here, I'm a little different. So I think I know it's like 61.13 now. I think it closed after hours at 61.70. Don't quote me on it. I think so. I would watch this at 61.70 between 60.34, but I'll be comfortable buying this. I'll be comfortable buying this right here at actually 60.90, 60.98.
60.98 it is. Yeah, it's in a weird position right now. It could go either way rather quickly, and these lines are so close that they want to cross, but if they don't cross, it could swing back up and even reach new highs. So this is definitely one to keep an eye on for sure. Next on the list is Lockheed. So Lockheed is coming in as a long-term play opportunity. It's about $5.74 above value. Now the trend is pretty strong, or rather strong, and it's in the cake. So that's something I want to look at and see what opportunities we have for Lockheed Martin. So looking a year out, you can see it's been above the cake for the middle part of last year. Started to take a bearish trend, hit the bottom layer of the cake you can see here, and bounce back up, hit the top layer of the cake, and fell below. Now it's starting to kind of get a little bit momentum back up. It's coming close back to the SMA here. And so looking at the alligator's mouth, it's opened up, it's above, everything's moving above the EMA, which is a good sign. So I would say this one is one I would like to invest in. It's definitely above true value. I don't feel comfortable buying it there, but I would definitely buy it at true value. So I would say at 354.49 at true value is where I would feel comfortable buying Lockheed Martin. So I'm marking that one down at 359.49. So Daz, what's your thoughts, opinions on Lockheed this week?
For Lockheed, I would like to see it test. I like to see how it reacts at 358.70, that range. I would feel more comfortable buying it at 356.89, 356.89.
56.89 it is.
Yeah, this one's tricky too.
Yeah, it's so you got that one in Boeing. Both airline companies, long-term plays. You think about the airlines with the pandemic. Are they going to be affected by it again with the new Omicron, or will things be a little bit better? And so more planes in the air will help both of these companies for sure. All right. And I believe